Just a brief follow-up. You've already encouraged people to move south, and unfortunately it's proved that that hasn't been safe either. The bombing has continued in places like Khan Yunis and towards Rafah, where people are being encouraged to go. And just finally, how does this alter your plans for a ground operation? It has to be a consideration, no?
We are now going to share in these following hours an area of a safe zone for the Gazan that went southern to Wadi Gaza. And we are trying to create the conditions and the corridors. Yes, we do attack in different areas, but when we attack by intelligence. We try to minimize the population in those areas before we attack. That's the logic. And about the next stages of the war, I will not talk about here, of the next stages of the war.
BBC, Jeremy Bowen.
Thank you very much, Jeremy. Do you think that the governments that condemned Israel last night will believe your explanation? I'm referring to Jordan, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates.
I think all of the countries that you mentioned are watching the BBC carefully and looking carefully what the BBC said. And I hope after our aftermath that showed it was cross-checked, and we took the time because we didn't want to be non-reliable and we didn't want us to infect with our credibility. I hope the BBC will now share this investigation and those countries will listen to the BBC, and we will also share United States a more intimate and also United Kingdom a more intimate review so the BBC can show it. And those countries, those Arab countries that you mentioned, which is very important for Israel, of course, from the Abraham Accords and other countries who also would be threatened by Hamas ISIS ideology, should understand our war. What Hamas ISIS did on the massacre on Saturday is nothing to do with Islam. People killed babies, people killed families, women were raped, people were beheaded. This is against Islam. This is against Islam. Any Arab country will show me a fatwa that goes with Islam. This is against Islam. Hamas is ISIS. It's not a one terror activity. It's a scale massacre of the governance of the Gaza city, of Gaza, which is Hamas. Hamas made a scale massacre, which is a govern. It's the sovereign. It's a sovereign massacre. This is why Hamas ISIS, we must fight it.
If I just follow up on that, I mean, you're essentially saying that these Arab governments watched the BBC and made up their minds. They came out with their statements long before I filed. So, I mean, I'm impressed you think we have so much clout in the world, but to be honest, they have their own sources of information, which is why they moved. Those statements came from the highest level, foreign minister and above.
I guess in the first time, because people feel empathy with hearing that someone bombed an hospital, or when they see people are dying. So they go out and do statements. It's okay, and I'm not blaming.
So they're being emotional, you say?
I think, and it sounds reasonable. But now, after evidence being shown, and I think it serves Hamas. Hamas is a terror like ISIS. It's media and sword. He wants to go to the media. He wants to be viral. That creates a viral imagery. So after the conversation you heard when they say it's Islamic Jihad, we said, okay, now we're going to take the benefit out of it and we're going to show the world. And they know it's going to be viral. So I'm not blaming anybody for showing it. I'm just trying to now fix it. Because we were blamed before that when we're too speed, and two, that we're asking, are you credible? We're taking the time to be credible. Sometimes the speed defective.